Hello, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to talk about how to maintain long-term motivation, a key aspect to achieve our goals and live a full and happy life. How can we maintain long-term motivation? Something that sometimes becomes difficult for us, especially when we face obstacles, setbacks, or frustrations. Motivation is the force that drives us to act, to pursue our dreams, and to overcome ourselves. However, motivation is not something that remains constant, but fluctuates according to the circumstances, the mood, and the level of satisfaction that we have with what we do. That is why it is important that we learn to cultivate long-term motivation. That is, the one that keeps us focused on our objectives, that helps us overcome the difficult moments, and that makes us enjoy the process and not just the result. Surely, it has happened to you sometime that you start a project, a course, a habit, or an activity with a lot of enthusiasm and energy, but over time that initial motivation fades and it is hard for you to continue. Maybe you get bored, frustrated, distracted, or discouraged. Why does this happen to us? What can we do to avoid it? Two variants of the same fuel. Motivation is the set of internal and external factors that drive us to perform an action or pursue a goal, and it can be intrinsic or extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation is the type of motivation that arises from our own interest, passion, or purpose, and not from external factors, such as money, fame, or approval from others. Intrinsic motivation drives us to perform activities that provide us with satisfaction, challenge, or recognition, and that allow us to feel autonomous and competent. Intrinsic motivation is related to the theory of self-determination, which states that people achieve self-determination when they satisfy their needs for competence, connection, and autonomy. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation is the type of motivation that originates from factors external to the activity itself, such as the reward, recognition, or punishment. Extrinsic motivation differs from intrinsic motivation, which is based on the interest, passion, or purpose of the person. Extrinsic motivation can have positive or negative effects on intrinsic motivation, depending on how it is applied and perceived. Intrinsic motivation is usually more lasting and effective than extrinsic motivation, as it is based on our values, purposes, and passions. And on the other hand, extrinsic motivation can be useful in some cases, but it can also generate dependence, stress, or loss of autonomy. To maintain long-term motivation, the ideal is to combine both types of motivation, but giving more weight to the intrinsic one. Next, I'm going to give you some tips to achieve it. Choose a goal that you are passionate about and that makes sense to you. Don't let yourself be carried away by what others do, by what you think is expected of you, or by what they tell you to do. Look for what really makes you happy, fills you, and makes you grow as a person. If your goal is aligned with your values, your vision, and your mission, you will have more motivation to achieve it. Divide your goal into smaller and more specific goals. Sometimes, when we have a very large or distant goal, we feel overwhelmed, confused, or impatient. To avoid this, it is convenient to break down our goal into smaller and more specific goals that are measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. In this way, we will be able to move forward step by step, celebrating our achievements and seeing our progress. Create an action plan and a calendar. Once you have your goals defined, it is important that you create an action plan that details what you are going to do, how, when, and where to achieve them. It is also advisable that you establish a calendar that helps you organize yourself and meet your deadlines. In this way, you will have more clarity, order, and commitment with your goal. Seek support and feedback. You don't have to do it all by yourself. Seek the support and feedback of people who love you, respect you, and help you grow. They can be family, friends, colleagues, mentors, or professionals. These people can offer you advice, encouragement, recognition, constructive criticism, or practical help. In this way, you will feel more accompanied, supported, and motivated. Enjoy the process and celebrate your achievements. Don't obsess over the final result, but enjoy the process of learning, overcoming, creativity, and fun that your goal involves. Learn from your mistakes, value your strengths, recognize your weaknesses, and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they are. In this way, you will maintain your self-esteem, your confidence, and your enthusiasm. Be flexible and adapt your goal to the circumstances. Sometimes things don't go as we expect or unforeseen events arise that make it difficult, or prevent us from continuing with our goal. In these cases, don't give up, but be flexible and adapt your goal to the new circumstances. You may have to change your action plan, your calendar, your goals, or even your goal. The important thing is that you don't lose sight of your purpose and your passion. The SMART method. There are some strategies that we can apply to maintain long-term motivation. One of the keys is to be clear about what we want to achieve, why, and how. For this, as we already mentioned, it is advisable that we establish goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. That is, that follow the SMART method. In this way, we will be able to have an action plan, a criterion to evaluate our progress, and a feeling of achievement when reaching each goal. The SMART method is a way of setting clear, smart, and relevant objectives for your project or business. SMART is an plus acronym that means the following. Specific. The objective must be concrete and defined, not ambiguous or general. Measurable. The objective must have a criterion to evaluate its progress and its fulfillment, not be subjective or intangible. Achievable. The objective must be realistic and possible to achieve, not impossible or unattainable. Relevant. The objective must be aligned with your purpose, mission, or vision, not be irrelevant or unnecessary. Time-bound. The objective must have a deadline or a time limit, not be indefinite or unlimited. The SMART method helps you define and plan your objectives effectively and maintain the motivation and focus to achieve them. So far, these are the tips to maintain long-term motivation. But before finishing, I would like to tell you a little about the brain chemistry that is behind motivation. Did you know that there are certain chemicals that influence our motivation? These are dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. Let's see what role each of them plays. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of pleasure, reward, and learning. Dopamine is released when we achieve something that makes us feel good, such as meeting a goal, receiving a compliment, or enjoying an activity. Dopamine motivates us to seek more of those rewarding experiences and to avoid those that cause us pain or disgust. To increase dopamine, we can set small and realistic goals, celebrate our achievements, do things that amuse us, and learn new things. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter of happiness, confidence, and well-being. Serotonin is released when we feel valued, respected, and appreciated by others, such as when we receive recognition, a show of affection, or a word of encouragement. Serotonin motivates us to maintain good social relationships and to take care of our self-esteem. To increase serotonin, we can express gratitude, give and receive compliments, practice kindness, meditate, and expose ourselves to the sun. Oxytocin is the neurotransmitter of love, trust, and connection. Oxytocin is released when we establish emotional bonds with other people, such as when we hug, kiss, caress, or look into someone's eyes. Oxytocin motivates us to create and maintain emotional ties and to cooperate with others. Endorphins are the chemicals of relief, euphoria, and ecstasy. Endorphins are released when we do physical exercise, laugh, cry, or have an orgasm. Endorphins help us reduce stress, pain, and anxiety, and increase pleasure, joy, and energy. To increase endorphins, we can do sports, dance, sing, laugh, cry, and have sex. As you can see, these chemicals have a great impact on our motivation and our mood. That is why it is important that we take care of our brain chemistry and that we do things that help us release them naturally and balance. In this way, we will feel more motivated, happy, and healthy. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, share it, and subscribe to my channel. We will meet again. See you soon.